Hi guys, Northeast Prospector here. Welcome back to Season 2, 2016 gold prospecting. We've been very busy over winter, getting out and checking a few spots and upgrading equipment and selling off other equipment, etc, etc. We've been out a few times, me and my partner. You'll actually see how we managed to get all this if you check out part 1 of our collaboration video. So there's the cons we managed to take for the day out in Beechworth at Reedy Creek. He showed you how we high banked for the day, so I'm going to show you how I clean up. Everyone's probably familiar with the blue bowl now. If you're not, I'll do a demonstration video on that, how I like to run it in another video. And for now, I'm just going to classify our material down through the 3 sieve sizes. So you've got 30 mesh, 50, and almost transparent 100 mesh. Obviously they fit perfectly into a Garrett Super Sluice, and I use a black S-wing just for anything bigger that won't go through the 30 mesh. So I'll get this organised, we'll get some water happening, and I'll get back to you. So we've got all the concentrates out of the container there. Bit of an effort, but that's alright. So basically you've tipped all of that into our 30 mesh classifier, which is sitting inside the Garrett Super Sluice. As you can see, a bit of blonde, a lot of black sand, which is quite common for Reedy Creek. If you've seen my other videos, you'd be aware of this, but this is how I do it. I want to just shake it around, not too rough, but enough to get it through, and run your hands through the material to get it working all through the mesh, which is a lot here. Every now and then give your pan a shake and make sure it just gets it all down to the bottom, so you're not going to lose anything over the side when you're shaking it. But yeah, it doesn't take a great deal to get it through, and you'll soon feel it. You'll know that there's only coarse stuff left in there. Obviously we won't put this stuff through the blue bowl because this is the coarser stuff, so you just pan this out. And if you're getting gold that's going to sit in this, you probably don't need to use a blue bowl anyway, but that's another story altogether. So basically with this, I'll move that off into there, and that'll sit in there. So now with this material in here, we've removed all the 30 mesh stuff, plus 30, and now I'll move on to the next classification, which is the 50 mesh. So just water conserving here. I'm only going to use the one pot. Slowly tip that in. Leave enough in the pot to get it stratified and clean it, so you can get it all into the next pan basically. We'll try to show the camera, but and again straight into the classifier. Lots of black sand in there, which, as you all know, black sand should, and quite often does, equal gold. No idea what our take was for the weekend. It's what we're cleaning up now for the video, but we're hoping to get a little bit. So we clean it all down. Looks pretty good. Alright, so now we'll just repeat the process again with the 30 mesh. Put a bit of extra water in there, that's alright. So yeah, shake it all around again, get it moving. And yeah, so I say water conserving here, I'm putting water all over the rug. So do as I say, not as I do, and you'll be right. So just keep moving the material around. Obviously it's a little bit finer, so it'll take a little bit more to get through. Move the pan a little bit. It's starting to come through nicely now. Still quite a lot of black sand, but you'd be amazed that by the time you finish classifying everything down, the amount of gold you'll actually still find in the negative 100 mesh. I was quite surprised the first time I used it, to be honest, and it's actually made me think about running all my cons that I've run once before. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with that. So again, get the water drain out of it, so we're not going to lose anything. Pretty good. Alright, move that into the next pan. And then you repeat the process one last time. So, once again, slowly tip the water out. And this is going into the 100 mesh. So you can already feel the difference. That, there's a little bit of gold there actually. I just saw a bit sticking on my finger. Sand everywhere. It's alright. Slowly wash it out. You don't have to rush these things, but we know how exciting gold prospecting can be. And the sight of gold does crazy things to people. Just wash myself off here, sorry. Alright, and again, classify it all down. Getting all the material through the mesh. This is the 100 mesh. Keep repeating myself, but it never hurts. Okay, so I've classified everything down, I've tidied up a little bit. Here we have Blue Bowl. For those of you who are familiar with them, you'll know how awesome they are at fine gold recovery. For those of you who haven't had the chance to play with one or haven't seen one in action, I will do a demonstration video on how I set everything up. Okay, so I've just finished running the 30 mesh, negative 30 mesh, into the Blue Bowl, and I'm just giving it time to sort of do its thing, and hopefully, I don't know how well it's going to show up, you can see the gold starting to appear around the edges. So this is just the 30 mesh. I don't know how well it's showing up due to the glare from the water and the sun, etc. But there's some nice pieces in there. Yeah, so I'll just give this a few more minutes to do its thing, and then I'll show you how I retrieve the rest of the gold out of here and what we do from there on in. Cheers. Okay, so we've run that for about, I don't know, 25-30 minutes roughly. See the gold all around. Now obviously with the black sand that's still in and around the funnel there's still going to be quite a bit of gold in there. So what I like to do is I like to turn the pump off, just cut the power on it, let the water drain out, and yeah, so we let that drain out, and then what I like to do is I grab a tiny little paintbrush like such, just a little kids one. No, I didn't steal this one from my daughter. And what I like to do is basically just brush all the gold I can see into a pile. Sorry if this looks a bit awkward. I'm trying to do this with one hand, but that's alright. Yeah, so basically brush all the gold into a small pile or near enough, and then basically just grab a snuffer bottle and snuffer up as much as you can. There's a few nice pieces down this edge down here. Again, there's no great rush for all this. It's just the water draining out of the bowl. But yeah, so I think for getting your gold clean, you can't beat it. Now, basically, put it into a pile, like I said. Grab your snuffer bottle. Run of the mill, everyone knows how to use one of these. Blow it in, blow your gold everywhere. And then, yeah, just slowly snuffer it up. And there you have, wait for that to fill up, in your snuffer bottle. If it'll focus. Won't really focus for me. Yeah, so gold, basically you just straight out of the snuffer bottle into a saucepan, and then it's ready to dry and weigh. So that's fine. So once you've removed removed all that, I like to grab that paintbrush again. Obviously there's still quite a bit of gold in there, you can see. And, excuse my reflection, and basically move everything out away from the cone. You'll see why in a sec. Just push it back out to the edge, and it gives the vortex time to build up motion again. Because what we're going to do is we're going to start the blue bowl back up. I've seen people do this where they lift it up and clean all the material out of it completely and then feed it slowly again, teaspoon at a time or whatever. But I've found in the few times I've done it this way, I've got good results again. So once you're happy everything has moved out, we'll start the pump back up. There we have it, just started the pump back up. Excuse the foam on top, it's just from me putting too much rinseaid in, surfactant. But once this builds up enough pressure, you'll see it come up. The water's slowly starting to spill into the centre funnel. And now all the material that we've pushed out to the edges will slowly start to move into the centre and hopefully up and out into the catch tray. And then, with any luck, the gold that's left in there will be sitting on the outside where we brushed it to, and you can snuffer it up again. Obviously, water's just building up enough pressure to come around. I can just give that a bit of a kickstart. Now, while we're doing this, I've been told to give Mick Cat a shout out too. Down in Lake's Entrance, one of the fellow Prospecting Australia forum members. He's recently purchased the gold wheel and the trommel off me that you've seen in my earlier videos. I'm sure he's going to have a ball out in the creek with that, or at home, however he decides to run it. But yeah, so anyway, you can see here the materials starting to move into the centre. A nice piece of gold down there actually. Yeah, so just watch your water levels, make sure they don't spill over the top, because then obviously you lose the pressure that's built up from the vortex from the water. You can see how quickly that's cleaned away all the material that we moved to the outside, and the gold's sitting out on the edges again. Now you might have to do this 2 or 3 times, but for how clean you get the gold, I don't think you can beat it. Okay, so we're back. Just finished running the 30 mesh stuff. Doesn't look too bad from what I can see. I'm about to start running the 50 mesh that we've got here. Same as last time. Keep the material moist. A bit of water in the pan doesn't hurt. And it just sort of helps it stop from floating. Yeah, righto. We'll start running some of this. See my dog in the background. Start running some of this, and away we go. So I just like to slowly feed it in. As you can see, the vortex action is there. Yep, same as always. If I'm not sure if I'm feeding it correctly, or if I'm feeding it too fast, too slow. If you've got any hints and tips, just leave a comment. And I'm a big believer that we're always learning with this sort of stuff, and a lot can be learnt if you just take the time to listen. So I'll keep running the 50 mesh stuff here and see how we go. You can start to see a little bit of gold already coming through there at the start there, and around there a bit further, so that's a promising sign for the first 3 teaspoons. But yeah, so we'll keep running this and I'll get you back. Now, I've read and seen videos that people say that putting material through a bowl is a monotonous task, and to a degree it can be, but I think when you can fill up your spoon with material, this is still the 50 mesh, and you can watch the flecks of gold peel off the spoon. I'm feeding this a bit slower than I usually would. I think when you can get to see the gold coming through, like you can here, I think it looks alright. Now there's a bit in there. There's just lines of it appearing here, there and everywhere, some there. But I think when you're running material, you put another teaspoon in now, and you can watch it disappear and wait for the lighter stuff to wash away, and then you get lines of gold appearing. I think it looks pretty cool. So I'll keep running this 50 mesh and get back to it. Okay, so instead of snuffering the gold up out of the 50 mesh from the blue bowl, I thought I'd do this because it looks pretty good, I reckon. So yeah, just into a pan. If Sarah can come in closer to where the black sand is, up the top of the pan. Just keep your eyes open. Just take your time with it all. And what we have there is just the 50 mesh stuff. Now there's a little bit there. Obviously there's quite a bit that's washed around as well, rather. So yeah, I'll just tap all this into the corners, snuffer it up, and then go again. Cheers. Okay, so we've finished the 50 mesh, and I've just made a start on the 100 mesh stuff, and this stuff is that fine. It's ridiculous. You wouldn't think there'd be much gold in this stuff, but I had a quick pan back before, and I could still see quite a little bit in there. So we'll keep running this, and soon enough we'll be able to dry and weigh, and hopefully get an idea of what we're taking for the weekend, myself and Jamie. Okay, here we are. We're all packed up outside. I've got all the cons from the trip that I've run through the blue bowl, now sitting in the snuffer bottle. So now this is how I dry and weigh whatever gold we found on the trip. Like to do it on the stove. Obviously outside would be better in a well ventilated area, but I don't have any gas in the barbecue at the moment, so I'm inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tip the cons out of the snuffer bottle into the pan. Just give it it's a bit hard with one hand, but just make sure it's all out. That's pretty good. Alright, so there's what we found on the trip. A lot of fine stuff. There's quite a bit in the 100 mesh stuff actually, which was surprising. But what we'll do is I'll basically just put this on the stove, like so, and fire her up, and if it'll fire. There we go. So just on a high heat, basically all we're going to do is evaporate the water out of it, and then yeah, be careful not to burn the gold. Obviously you need a lot of heat to do that, and I don't think you can actually get that over a conventional stove, but just use an old pot if you've got one lying around, and yeah, this is how I go about it. So I'll get this evaporating down, and when we get close I'll bring these back and show you how I weigh it up. Cheers. Righto guys, we're all weighed up here. That's what we've taken. Just use once it's all dried in there and the pot's cooled down, I use just another paintbrush, just to sweep it all into a small pile, and I'll now put it into the funnel with the help of my fiance. So yeah, excuse the pot in the way of the camera, but just go into a vial with a small funnel I've rolled up out of paper, and yeah, nearly there. Helps if it's all cooled down, because that way it doesn't stick to the pot. But nearly there. Just get as much as you can. Obviously it all helps. So just tap the last of that out. I'll put this down. There's one last bit in there. Alright, so I'll put that down. I'll take this. I got it. Cheers. Then we'll just tap all that into the bottom, make sure it's all in there. Looks pretty good. Now what we'll do, we've got 2 vials here, same weight, once they're teared out. So get this one, tear that one out, and now for the weigh-in, we have got 0.22. I know, so it's a little bit under what we usually get, but nevertheless, it's still a bit of gold in the vial at the end of the day. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I'll put up a link to the first half of the video that Jamie recorded for us, and as always, like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you.